people are shouting, crying, begging for help, and yet you stand silent while this country is torn apart. What good is a crown if it doesn't defend the nation? What good is a king if he will not stand with his people? This land is not theirs to destroy. It belongs to the people, the workers, the mothers, the fathers, the veterans, the builders, the farmers. We carried this island through wars, through hardship, through centuries of struggle, and we will not watch it be handed away by weak men in suits. Your duty is not to them, Charles. It is to us, to Britain, to the very soul of this nation. If you will not rise, if you will not speak, then you will show the people that the crown has become nothing but decoration. So hear us now. Your people demand action. We demand a king who protects his country. Britain is calling, Charles. Answer, or history will remember your silence.
Good evening. Start that again, shall we? Good evening, everyone. So it's not just that West Ham channel. First time I think I've ever done a live that is also connected with my Jay the Soul Coach YouTube channel. Now, if you've seen the thumbnail, you'll know clearly in advance that this is absolutely not only nothing to do with football, it is far bigger than football. Now, if anyone saw my morning video this morning, there were certain things that I shared. It was clearly targeting specifically what's going on all around the world at the minute, what's going on in Iran. And it was an opportunity for me to share stuff that, regardless of what anyone else thinks, and even if one person sees this, this is where I always, for the last 6 years anyway, especially felt if there's anything that you can share that's meaningful and it can help one person, it can resonate for whatever reason with one person, that's a fucking win as far as I'm concerned. Now, for those that might watch this, and I've had some messages yet again, because I put my number out there. I don't care. I'm not scared. I'm not, it's the whole point. I don't think I'm tough at all. I think this stuff is worth talking about. And if people think it's dramatic, or even think the beginning of this video, the King Charles thing, if you don't see the relevance, if you go, oh, what's this about? This bit dramatic, and this is the fucking problem at the minute. This is the problem. And if you think that's dramatic, that call to arms of our supposed king and why is fucking important, look at what you've seen over the last 48 hours. Look at the uprising you've seen of a people, a phenomenally strong, amazing culture of people. It goes back years, their history, their rich, un-Islamic history. It's only been 47 years that these cunts have been in. And by the way, in advance, I'm going to have a lot to say about Islam. None of it, I'm going to say this evening, is going to be my opinion. I'm actually going to share with you, as I've said I would do, I'm going to share with you some of their verses from their holy book, their Quran. I'll give you their chapters and verses, and you can go and check it yourself, because some of it you will absolutely, if you just hear it for the first time, looking at a white bloke like me saying it, it will come across like he's just a cunt, he's racist, he's this, he's that, he's saying that just to have a dig at Muslims and Islam. I'll give you the chapters and the verses. The most official site you can look at, which is recognized, is Quran.com. So I'll literally tell you where to go and find this stuff. Hello, Tim. Hello, mate. There's probably a bit of you this evening. I am actually going to put the link up. If anyone wants, you don't have to come on camera. If anyone wants to just even use the link to come in and have a chat about what's going on, I've got some stuff to share. I don't want to be chewing people's ear off, but if anyone feels that strongly, let me just put the link in the chat. So the first person I'm going to shout out is my beautiful Iranian wife. My beautiful wife, who's Iranian. My kids, I'm shouting out my 2 kids, that we've allowed them to see what's going on, not all the graphic details, because some of the stuff that's been going on in Iran over the last couple of months, bearing in mind that there's been conservatively over 40,000 people slaughtered. For one reason, again, Islam, because of an ideology. And hello, bruv, shout out to you as well, Giza. There's probably a bit of you this evening. I put a link in chat. I've got some stuff to share. If anyone wanted to, like I said, you don't have to come on camera, have their say. I've got to share these bits first with you, stuff. You're more than welcome to, because the whole point of doing this is 25 to 11 here in Spain. I get up silly o'clock in the morning because I run a PT class. I'm knackered. But this needs to be fucking said. It's not for clicks, like I said, even if one person takes something from what I'm about to show you, because what I'm going to warn you in advance, what I'm about to show you is going to fuck you off. It's going to fuck you. If you're a normal human being, it's going to fuck you off. If anyone thinks the title of this video, what's happening in our world, is good versus evil, again, is dramatic. No. Do you know the definition of good? Pretty sure most of you would say, yeah. Do you know the definition of evil? I'm pretty sure most of you will say, yeah. What's going on that you're currently seeing in Iran, which is now spilled out to Dubai. We've got friends and family in Dubai that have literally, they wouldn't let me, my wife wouldn't let me use the video they sent via WhatsApp because it's their personal details. But where they're staying in Dubai, the hotel, they're there with their little boy who's a friend of my daughter, little Shahan. Shout out to you, Parisa, Babak, and Shahan. Send you safety, good health, love, kindness, and all that good stuff. They're getting bombed out there in Dubai, hitting Bahrain. Israel's taking an absolute battering, right? And again, why? Because of this evil fucking cult. And if you're doubting if it's evil, like I said, what I'm about to show you, is fucking evil. So to sort of set the tone, like I said, I will give you, in fact, do you know what I'm going to set the tone with? Let me tell you what I'm going to set the tone with. I'm not going to say the name of this person, but thank you so much. Someone who listened to this shows this morning. I told you I'm tired. I will get through this. I promise. I'll get the momentum. Those that watched this morning's show, one of you reached out and you sent me this, right? So, and what is brilliant about this, again, I'm going to give you the hadith, chapter and verse, so you can go and look and check it yourself, what you are about to hear. So just to quickly explain, in Christianity, you got like Mary. Now different, obviously you got Catholicism, you got Orthodox, you got Protestant. My point is there's different sort of, Mary gets a sort of different story, slightly different authority in each. But what is agreed across the board is that Mary is, she's the holy woman of the Christian element. Well, in Islam, right, their holy woman, when she first came into their book, was 6 years old. Her name's Aisha. So I'm going to read this message. Thank you so much for sending me this. I read it to my wife as well, and she also said thank you. So well done, Jay. I'm glad. Thanks very much. I'm glad to see this video. It gives me some hope that others are seeing the darkness that's being allowed in. If you're one of the 7 million people watching around the world thinking, I ain't seen your video this morning, it's on this channel, right? And I was talking about this stuff. Can anyone tell me why their, being Islam, their God, is on a path and not the destination of the path? So whether you're religious or not, disclaimer, I'm not actually religious. I don't subscribe to Christianity. I don't subscribe to Islam. So I'm coming at this from a very neutral point. But just even if you watch this and there's one of you might be thinking about religion. I mean, there's more and more people that are swinging towards Christianity. I can fucking see why, because of what's going on, which we're going to get into. I'm going to show you the vids. Like I said, whatever I'm saying now is a build-up. Watch these videos. It's not nice. It's not nice. In advance, there's no naked. There's no like naked kids or anything like that. Stating the obvious. Fucking just disclaimer. But it's fucking as bad in fairness. But it's not visually like that. But it'll give you an idea of why people may be swinging towards to have a look at the church in a minute, considering what we're fucking up against in the UK, and it is affecting your life. If you live in the UK at the minute, everything about your existence over these next few years is heavily based on the strength of either Islam, which is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Don't believe me? Let me show you. I won't lose my chain of thought. We'll go back to that, but let me show you this. And I think the person who sent me this, you just sent me another. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Who sent it to me? Who sent me that picture? Bear with me, people. Is it in this one? Right, basically what it was, I'll find the picture. So someone sent me a picture. It said the state of the UK, and it had the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, all dressed up in his gear, his Islamic gear. It had the head of the health advisory for the UK. Now, for the record, this might sound provocative, right? But for me, right, so part of what I do as a personal trainer, I think is quite important that I keep myself in somewhat shape, considering every morning, like I just said, I get up at silly o'clock to train people physically online. It's part of what I do. I do an online personal training, right? So if I'm referring about myself, a fat cunt, then who am I really to get people up in the morning to jump around with me? I train with them. I don't just stand there. Yeah. So my point is, yeah, I'm not fattest. But if you're the fucking health sector, the advisory to the health sector of the whole of the United Kingdom, find her. She's a fat cunt in a hijab, right? Then you got the head of the education system, Muslim. And what was the last one? There's one more. There's four of them. Nothing what I've said is racist. Yeah, first and foremost, nothing what I've said is racist, right? But it's a fucking problem. It's a problem. Yeah. So let me go back. So this, before I play the video, right? Quran. No, we're gonna. You know what? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Right. So in Islam, you got something called the hadiths. Right now, I won't go into them at this point what they are, but to give you an idea, they're written as interpretations of the Quran by people that are seen, like al-Bukhari, who, if you speak to a Muslim about the hadiths and their scholars, al-Bukhari is one of the biggest. He's not to be fucked with. He's not to be in any way accused of falsehood. That's like the ultimate fucking, you could get killed for accusing him of that. Like he's not the Prophet Momo, who's the perfect man. Who let's listen about this perfect man, by the way. Let's have a listen what this perfect man got up to. That's where we're gonna go right now. Let me just take this fucking thing off so it stops timing out my phone, the power savings on. Right, here we go. So the hadith is I'll even give you it. It's from the Sahih al-Bukhari 5134. Okay, so it's the Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, narrated by Aisha. This is Aisha. Their holy woman, that's what she's seen as, wife to Muhammad. That the Prophet Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old. And he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. Hisham said, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet Muhammad. Do you know what they say when they say his name? They say, peace be upon his head. Every time. I've got a little bit of problem with the pronunciation. It kind of sounds like peace be upon his head. Remained with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for 9 years till his death. The man is the greatest example of Islam. He was 53 years old when he married a 6-year-old. Their hadith and other hadiths showing, listen to this, he had to fatten her up before he could do the dirty with her between 6 years and 9 years old. So what he would do, this is in their books, he would rub himself in between her thighs just to get himself off, because he, at that point, wouldn't fit into that little 6, 7, 8, finally got in there at 9-year-old's vagina. I'm not being crude in any way. I've given you you can look at yourself. Importantly, I want to add, most Muslims are better people and examples than their Prophet. They've been lied to and misguided. Islam is a doctrine from something extremely dark that can also be shown using scriptures. I won't bore you with it though. So they're perfect man. And why is this relevant? Because as the oh no, it's on the thumbnail, I said it's bigger than politics. I've been talking, for those that have heard or give a fuck, about politics. First time I think as in politics, as in a party, as in actually encouraging people, look, actually we might need to vote. Yeah, I'm so normally against, because normally it's a big complex, people call it a matrix or whatever else. And it is normally all the same. But at the minute, what's going on in the United Kingdom? Well, what you're seeing, this new world war start over, yeah? 1,000,000%. This ain't my ideology. It's not my theory. It's not because I'm married to a Persian. I'm trying to give it all the big one for Persians. No, take out all of that. And why did this war start? Because of Islam. Because Islam was enforced into Iran 47 years ago and instantly changed. Do you know how many people are in Iran? 85 million. So back in 47 years ago, let's just say, very unlikely, but it was 20 million less. There was still over 60 million people, right? That instantly, in an instant, their whole way of life. And if you want to see what it's like, Google Iran, Tehran in the 50s. It looks like London. Mini skirts, skyscrapers, nightclubs, music, parties. Like I said, I've been with my missus for 16 years. I've experienced the Iranian party culture outside of Iran, because obviously inside of Iran, you get fucking hung, shot, stoned in the streets, killed, yeah, women especially. I've seen what they're like. They're fucking party animals, the Persians. Yeah, their music's good music. They've got good music, rap, they've got good dance. Like, they are party fucking animals. Bang, overnight. Overnight, all of that stopped. Women started getting, for not putting on headscarves and covering their hair. This is how it started. Women started getting killed. It's not even going to all the different methods, but stoning, hanging, shooting publicly. Women started getting killed in their thousands, right? It's horrendous. It's horrendous. Child fucking underage marriage came in. I've just read as proof from their hadith. You just start watching Rewind the Life. I just read the fucking hadith. That's their holy man, Al-Bukhari, that's telling you it's all right. The fuck? It sounds so crude, but say it for what it is. Have sex with, shag a 6-year-old. Why? The Prophet fucking married a 6-year-old. Couldn't get it in initially, not my words, from their perspective, written down, their hadiths. Couldn't get it in, so used to cream over her legs until she got to 9, he could finally get it in. That instantly came into Iran. Child marriages, that weren't a thing in Iran. That is under Sharia law. What you're seeing in Whitechapel, what you're seeing in Manchester, what you're seeing fucking everywhere at the minute, when it comes to Islam, they are pushing for what has just caused, after 47 years, what you're seeing kicking off now in the Middle East. It's the same fucking thing, only it's worse. Because this in the UK has actually been seeping into our system. We've got Islamically funded governments. Why do you think all the Palestine marches get police support? They can say what the fuck they want. How can thousands of so-called British Muslims, a lot of them are British born, be marching through London screaming out, death to Jews, we're going to rape your daughters, with the police walking with them, and yet Lucy Connolly, a white middle-aged middle-class woman who's a fucking babysitter, gets 1.5 years for a tweet online. We are already living in an Islamic state. I'm not trying to fearmonger. Yeah? Be honest with yourself. What I've just described, is any of it factually untrue? It's not. It's not. That's happening in our streets. Sharia law. I've been playing that wonderful black lady each morning who was brainwashed, in her words. I might play a little bit of her this evening, depending on the time. I don't want to go on too much. But playing her take as a British black woman got brainwashed by Islam and now is a Christian preacher. She's going out. What a fucking fine example, with the Union Jack into Whitechapel. She's been attacked. What a wonderful human being. What an inspiration. We're seeing she says in the video about the Iranian people being warriors, especially the women. She's a warrior. You know, this ain't about race. She's a black lady, proud to be British, and in her case, she's a Christian. She's proud to be Christian and stand up because, as the title says, this is good versus evil. Because underage marriages, having been able to have sex, do you know there is an Islamic party that for fucking years, every official party, every single year, every single opportunity there is to introduce new legislations is pushing for underage sex. What is it? 12. What the fuck? What? I said to myself, I weren't going to get too fucking right. Let's put in a video, right? I played this morning, right? And I warn you in advance, what I'm about to show you, what I'm about to fucking show you, in Somalia, a few months back, in Somalia, for years, because of this fucking Islam, cult, satanic, evil shit. That is what it is. Because we were talking about kids. That's what we're talking about. So no one can tell me, like, if in any ideology, if in any religion, if in any walk of life, people of any color state that it's all right to abuse kids, to sexually abuse kids, it's just all right. That's what they're basically saying. To grape, I've got to be careful, I can't say that word, grape kids. And not only that, it's but it's in our book. God says, yeah. And if you think I'm exaggerating, look what I'm about to show you. This is a Somali man, 71 years old. See if you can read what it says at the bottom. Yeah. And I'll explain to you afterwards why he's so upset. Ugh. There you go. Look at this. Look at that. Look at fucking that.
Shalay Soomaaliya waxay u ahayd maalin mugdiya, maalin madow ah.
Very dark day.
Baarlamaanka wuxuu u soo saaray ama uu go'aan
yesterday, Parliament, what they brought forth is something he will not accept. We Somalis are 100% Muslims.
laga cabsado arintan arinta horta u baahan waaye. Aabay culimadeena Soomaaliyeed aabay culimadeena Soomaaliyeed وارث الأنبياء باتهين إذن كان هذا المقلنا
73
هاي أرنتان آوي الشيخ سمو آوي من نولم يا آوي الشيخ شاكر من نولم يا وراوي
إلهي
قابسون إلهي والله الشيخ محمد معلن أبشر آبي
الشيخ voice has gone, lips gone, everything.
وإلهي قابسون الشيخ عبد الرزاق أشعري آبي وإلهي قابسون وريلاي هانك حبسن أرنتان أرن لا أقبلك الله تتكون وانا شوقايان إلهي هانك حبسن
Now just imagine
وريلاي هانك حبسن إلهي هانك حبسن أرمهان لغا أرمهان
if you didn't know, he says it above there. If you just heard like 73-year-old man cries over law raising marriage age to 18, right? If you didn't know, if there are no fucking subtitles, no writing, and you just listen to that guy, I can tell you honestly, I wouldn't judge him. Like if I didn't know what he was saying, I would just think, fuck me. Something's got this geezer bad. Like he's sad. God, what's happened in his life? But then you find out as he's going through this blubbering fuck. It's because he wants to fuck kids. Say a spade is a spade, right? You say what you fucking see, because what he's crying about is that when this video was made, the Somalian government finally overturned the child sex laws, the child marriages, which was legal. They made it illegal, changed it to fucking 18 years old, right? And then because of cunts like this and thousands of others that went online crying, went out onto the streets, it was within hours, like it weren't even weeks, like, or even a week. It was in like a day or two. They instantly changed the laws back. They instantly changed the laws back. So fucking Islamist pedophile cunts like him, that is what he is. That is not me having a go at Islam. He is, you heard him. I am 100% Muslim. This is wrong. He's telling you what he is. He's an Islamist. And because he's an Islamist, and because, as he said, Allah, we fear Allah. This is wrong. He's allowed to fuck kids. That's what he's crying about. That's what he's crying about. That's what we're up against in the UK right now. We're not talking just now either. This is what that wonderful example of a good, yes, white English man, Tobin Robinson, fucking it, national treasure. I hope the history books write him for what he is. He's not racist. Fucking, it's unreal, the shit that's been thrown at that man and what he's done. Let me show you something else. Like I said, these things, this is a bit of a longer video. These things ain't nice. But this, again, what I'm about to... Oh, fuck, did I shut it? What I'm about to show you... No, you see it for yourself. See it for yourself. Hold on. Here we go. Right. I'm going to change this. I'm going to remove old ginger beard, pedo, dirty cunt scumbag. And I'm going to put on This is what they're pushing for.
At just 10 years of age, this little girl is saved from a forced marriage. Her parents agreed to sell her to a man 15 years her senior for $2,500, but the marriage has been annulled. An association is taking the family away from the camp where they lived. After a 4-hour drive, they arrive in the big city of Herat, a leap into the unknown for Amina and her family. 3 months ago, we met in the remote province of Badghis, in the middle of the mountains. In the camp, neither Taliban or NGO were present, only women and children trying to survive. Many of the girls were being sold as a source of income for the families. Do you know when you're leaving? And how are you feeling? Do you feel ashamed for selling her when you see her crying like that?
It's because our children are starving. I have no other choice.
Today, Amina and her family have been relocated. Her father welcomes us.
Comment vas-tu? Ça va? Tu vas bien?
Moi, je n'aime pas ça.
Beautiful little girl. Beautiful, innocent child that should be playing with. Mates.
Et Amina va pouvoir rester avec vous, il n'y a plus de mariage. Qu'est-ce que ça représente?
We're happy that the wedding is cancelled and we're able together. This one's a bit of a mum. That's it.
Today, with the aid they've received from the association Too Young to Wed, the family can dream of a better future.
We are going to do our best for you.
Together with his colleagues, Aziz Tawakkali managed to have the marriage annulled. They were the ones who helped the family leave the camp.
Explain to me when they were here. Because it's complicated again.
To go further into detail, Aziz brings us into the living room to speak discreetly.
It happened under the supervision of the imams in their neighborhood. To annul the marriage, we had to promise to help the father find a job. We had to sign a written agreement that the father must reimburse the husband within a year or two.
The organization treads a delicate balance, working to find a solution.
Clocking that. These wonderful human beings had to go to the leaders of what is the equivalent of what is a church, a vicar, but it's an imam, a mosque. And it's all right, you can keep your kid, but you're going to have to fucking pay the geezer that you was selling her to because she was starving so that he could basically marry her. And what do you do when you're married? To have sex with your child. That's why you want. That's not fucking. Can you be blown away truly in love with a fucking 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old, 6-year-old? Like, how fucked up have you got to be? Clearly, it's one thing. It's because you want to fuck a kid.
For families, but never buy back children directly. They fear parents could be tempted to sell their children to get more aid. In the camp where Amina lived, we met another family, a very different situation. 4-year-old Sabera was sold by her mother for $500 to a couple who could not have children.
I had to sell her, even though I know that no one should separate a mother from her child.
So that first story, let me remove this off the stage. Yeah. In every Islamic state, this is legal. England, Scotland, Wales, fucking Ireland, they are. So for those who don't know what I do professionally, the biggest part of what my role has been for a long time is I work with people with terminal cancer. And I'm going to make this analogous, right? So it's not something I expected I'd be doing for a living. And to be honest, when I started this West Ham channel, shout out to all the other hosts and people have been here from the start of this. I always said, those that know from my West Ham perspective, West Ham's always been a release for me. It's been a good way to get away from. It's quite heavy at times doing what I do. A lot of people I work with, they pass. I work with people with terminal cancer. It's part of the job, right? But my point is, the way cancer spreads, yeah, that's fucking Islam. 100%. It's like a cancer. It's like a fucking cancer. The way it's spreading through the world. It's not just London. Do you know, actually, I live in Spain. Outside of the UK, London, England is seen as a fucking joke. We're seen as an absolute joke. Weak. A terrorist hub. Remember, I've been playing that lady that I spoke about. She was giving you some figures. Over 47 high top end terrorist strikes within the UK, yeah, that we've not even been told about. MI6 or MI5, whichever one. It was in the video this morning. You can go back and watch it. That stopped as just before they was about to happen, like full scale shit, all in the name of Islam. But yet in England, yeah, we are this close to something we abolished years ago, blasphemy laws. You couldn't previously say anything negative about the church or about Jesus, about God, like you could get back in the day, just like in Islam now, you can get killed, basically. And then they said, no, we can't do that anymore. We don't even know if it's real. Let's not kill people over it. So they abolished blasphemy laws. In the United Kingdom, been speaking about this for a long time, they are still pushing to bring in, what's it called now? Islamophobia. Islamophobia. You can't say nothing. Thank God it's not in at the minute. So I'm going to tell you this, you lot that follow fucking Promo the pedo, because that's what he is. Yeah, they're trying to make it so that if someone said something like that, you get banged up. Problem is, even though it's not actually been passed, again, for those who think, yeah, it's not happening yet, or no, we're not an Islamic State, Lucy Connolly, tweet online, 18 months in prison. Middle-aged white woman, no criminal record whatsoever. For a fucking tweet. Let that land. I'm sure you must know. So, is it far-fetched? Am I reaching? Or is it already fucking happening? Is it already happening under our noses? Which is why, moving on, Iran. What we're seeing in Iran at the minute, it's like they're giving it to the world, saying, oi, use law. Don't let these cunts in and take over. Because for 47 years, look at us now, 47 years later, up until 2 days ago, when fucking Trump and the Israeli fella went, right, fuck this, we've had enough. These people were running into bullets. I've been with my missus 16 years. I've seen this is the fourth uprising I've seen of, prior to getting with my missus, I knew nothing, and I gave not a flying fuck about Iran, because I was ignorant and it wasn't on my fucking radar. In fact, Iran for me was Lethal Weapon of Die Hard movies, bad guys. It's fucked up, right? That's what I'm saying. But you think how we're programmed for this shit. Then you fall in love, with a woman from another culture, Iran, you go there, you see, fucking hell, it's all right, this, isn't it? No different from us. And they ain't. Well, actually, they're braver than us. That's what it's showing at the minute. They are literally a fucking beacon of a red alert, a red flag to what is happening in London, in England, in France, in Paris, in Germany, all over Germany. Trying it in America, but Trump is not having none of it. It's Islam. It's fucking real. It's not just in the movies. So my point is, what we're seeing in Iran at the minute, what have I got? Let's give you something. This fucking show. This shit gives me fucking tingles. Let's get one up here. Yeah, let's have a look at this one. This is in Iran. This is what I'm about to play. They're still dropping bombs as these wonderful Iranians talk about show you how fucked off they are.
Democracy ruled by an Ayatollah who crushed dissent and required strict religious observance. But tonight, for many Iranians, there is hope for change. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer has years of experience reporting from inside Iran, and she joins us tonight from London.
Oh, it's London. Sorry.
Shouts of joy rang from the rooftops across Tehran when
Israel
first announced the supreme leader was dead. It marks an abrupt end to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's 36 years in power. As the supreme leader, he was political target number one, and his private compound in Tehran was top of the target.
See this man here, yeah? This man here, he's responsible for atrocities that, imagine, in the center of London, that every morning blasts morning prayer. Every single morning, across Tehran, so it blasts out this fucking prayer. Right? Sound familiar? Whitechapel Mosque, every fucking morning. Seeing how this all links? None of this is reaching. Anyway, every morning in Iran, this morning prayer, do you know what they do? And has done for over 4 decades. Public executions, hangings of kids, teenagers, students in front of their parents and whatnot. Oh, every single day for over 4 decades. Men, women. That's not the only way they do stuff. By the way, of course, that's under their religion. The reason these young people and old people are being hung is because they have basically committed shirk, is the Islamic term. Shirk, like sin, the ultimate sin. They've done something as bad as, in cases for women, not covered their hair. They're hanging by cranes. They hang them by cranes, big fuck off cranes. Basically, they hang these young people every morning under the guise of Islam, because Allah, alhamdulillah, Allah. The one, you see him going, the one God. That's the digger Christianity. So that's it.
Political target number one, and his private compound in Tehran was top of the target list this morning. Reports from the capital say besieged paramilitaries are now on the streets, cracking down on celebrations. These are some of the same forces who attacked civilians back in January when they came onto the streets to protest first against the economy and then against everything else they hate about this regime, from corruption to oppression. Thousands were killed. Those who marched then and survived will be exhilarated tonight by the news, but also afraid. They heard President Trump urging them to take over their government, but how? They have no guns and no organization, and they are up against millions of
I played this one this morning. Right, look at this. So this is, listen to this girl. So she's in, or listen to her. I don't want to do it. Where's it placed in the right place? In it? Perfect.
I'm a girl from Kerman, Iran. Youth strikes have begun, and I felt like I should record a video to say that. Thank you, Mr. Trump. First of all, thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the people of Israel who have to go to bomb shelters these days. I should mention that responsibility of this war is on the Islamic Republic and Ali Khamenei per se. And even if I die, the strikes have touched my city as well. even if I die in this war, the only one who's to blame is Ali Khamenei, and if that leads to the destruction of this regime,
Islam,
I'm okay with it.
this terrorist Islam,
If I die,
he's okay
I'm
with
okay
dying.
with it.
No, I'm okay with it.
And
It ain't
I hope
dramatic.
that
That's what I mean.
our king, our Shahanshah, will return and rebuild our country, and my country can see better days. جاوید شاه پاینده ایران. Hello.
Right. Right. West Ham faithful. You've misinterpreted. You've misinterpreted. Take race out this and challenge me on this thing. What I'm talking about, okay, I've said it many times, Islamists, first and foremost, Islamists. And what I'm talking about is a book that is the set of rules. Yeah, just like you've got a constitution in America, it's a book with a set of rules, and America is governed by these set of rules. This is what we're talking about. So everyone that follows those set of rules, just like anyone in the USA, they follow the constitution. You get some good ones, you get some bad ones, but they're under the same constitution. Anyone who chooses that ideology and follows that book. Well, let me give you an example, because this is when you're saying it's the same as racism, homophobia. First and foremost, where's the connection? Where's the connection? We're talking about an ideology, which this is one. So this is, you can't challenge me on the fact that I've just defined Islam as an ideology with a book which has got a set of rules. You can't. That'd be nonsensical. So I think we agree. I hope we agree that let's have that as our starting point with what I'm about to show you. Right? So as a starting point, everything I say next is based on that premise. I'm only referring to men and women that choose to, because it's a choice ideology as well, to follow that ideology as I accept that as my governance. My set of rules in the way that I live is governed by those rules. So that's the starting point. So think about it from this perspective. And then, so the first one, I will start with. So again, I'll give you names. In fact, you know what I do? I'll actually give you, because if we're going to have opinions on this stuff, like if I'm going to have an opinion on this stuff, what's important is I'm putting in. So look, there is. I've just put into chat. This is for you as well. So West Ham faithful, please, like, think about it from that. I've just put that in chat. So remember, please as well, keep my eye out. Remember, this is based on this premise. Every human being, adult, that chooses to follow the set of rules under this ideology, which is in that book. Okay, so here is some of those rules. And you tell me if it's the same as racism and homophobia, right? And like I said, go and you might even get there before me if you're that keen. Surah An-Nisa 4:35. Arbitration in marital disputes. Men are the caretakers of women. As men have been provisioned by Allah over women and tasked with supporting them financially, and righteous women are devoutly obedient and when alone protective of what Allah has entrusted them with. And if you sense ill conduct from your women, advise them first. If they persist, do not share their beds. And if they still persist, strike them. So there's the first one. So if you break that down, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If for whatever reason that you feel that your wife is, her conduct you don't agree with, warn her. Warn her again. You tell her I'm fucking sleeping on the couch. Not she tells you you're the one. Or you put her on the couch. Get on the fucking couch. And if she still persists at that point, you hit her. So there's your first one. Check it out. Right. We've also got right. At-Tobah. At-Tobah. Chapter 9:5. Kill the polytheists wherever you find them. Who are the polytheists? At-Tobah 9:29. Chapter 9:29. Yeah, let me put it in there. Yeah, I'll put it in. Right? Because remember, if you're going to have an opinion on this, I'm not trying to change your mind. Right? No, this is on topic. This is on topic, West Ham Faithful. Right? Because, all right, do me a favor. Define those two words, what you've just put. Islam phobia. Please, because it's important. Define. We know what them words mean. Words have meanings. Yeah, you can't just start making up. Anyone can't just start making up words all of a sudden give you a different meaning. Like Islamophobia. Because what is a phobia? It's an irrational fear. Irrational fear. Right? That's what it means. Right. Blakey. You're on topic. But let him come to it. Right? So, and think about what, I'm not missed the point, I promise you. I'm on point. I'm really on point with this. Right? So it's something that's to be right. So it's a point in reference to what you were saying about them bringing in, right. So yeah, so no, don't say sorry, because you're bang on point. You're bang on point, and this is really important. Right. West Ham Faithful, do me a favor then, because the way that came in, and I ain't offending, this is what I mean, it's so important to have these discussions, right? Can you, in a way that I'm understanding, if I'm being challenged on this, because I ain't a dictator, I don't want people, I'm sharing information, I'm really confident I can hold my own on, right? But are you, I'm saying to you, it's nothing like homophobia and racism. That was where I started with this. Can you explain to me how why you said what you said? Because it is important, honestly. I don't want to argue. That's not the point at all. It's childish. It's I'm interested, right? But whilst I wait, yeah. So polytheists, Jews and Christians, right? So I could go on with these verses, right? The fact that I played this video many times recently. I can play it again. I'm not going to bother at the minute. That in the mosques, that video that I played, where you've got inside our mosques in the UK, because if they're in the United Kingdom, there are mosques. They're in our fucking. They can say they own them, but it's in the United Kingdom. It's ours, the United Kingdom, right? That they're chanting, kill them one by one. Kill the Christians and the Jews, annihilate them, humiliate them. Yeah, this is the reason I'm like, and it goes on and on and on, as in how. Think what we covered. We've already covered that this is again, because I'm only going to the fact that in any way, how can this be like homophobia or racism? Because somehow you attributed whatever was said to a comparison, right? But this is what I'm talking about. Thus far, How can anything about it, whether it's said about it, how people say racist things, how people say homophobic things. Okay, I'm going to say something to an Islam, like a Muslim. Your prophet's a pedo. Am I being? This is the only comparison that I'm thinking you can make, right? Am I being an Islamophobia? Have I got an irrational fear by telling them something that their fucking book says it's okay to do, and their prophet did? He set the pace. Aisha 6, married, consummated 9. Right? So I'm on point, because no matter how it was said, and that's what's important, this is what I'm talking about. How can describing it, okay? And again, let's go to the core of the word phobia, irrational fear. As that lovely, wonderful, proud to be Black British woman this morning explained it on that video that I played in this morning's show, that, God, mate, I can't believe, I genuinely can't believe that we're in 2026. What's just happened in Iran and what is happening in the UK now is even a discussion that is being had to have a difference of opinion fucking on. I can't believe it, because it is real. Because this is the thing. This is the correlation. Iran right now is literally, and talk about whether you believe in God. So, like I said, I'm not religious, right? So, people are fine, cool. Yeah, whether you believe in fate, whether you believe in coincidence, the fact that if you switch off the main television channels, which don't show you after shit, we all know that, and you go alternative and you go look at Germany, look at Spain, where I am, not thankfully where I am, but in regards to Spain as a whole, England, London, Manchester, Liverpool, France, Paris, Germany, so many cities. Where else could you go? Where am I missing? Italy, Greece. Even when I lived in Greece, the problem with the boats was happening when I lived in Greece years ago. Yeah, what will you find? What's the common denominator? That they're having problem with people with no fucking passports, with no getting into their country, and then having problems with these people in their country not assimilating, not making any effort. So they shouldn't be there. They've got in illegally. Yeah. And what is the religion they all follow? Islam. So the word phobia describes irrational fear. Anything, as that woman said, Black, beautiful British woman holding up a Union Jack, ex-Muslim converted to Christianity, now is a proud street preacher. She's doing it in the trenches. She's going into Whitechapel, surrounded by these Islamists that are marching up and down Whitechapel, all ballied up, screaming death to Jews. None of this is a reach. Every part of this is happening in our cities. What did she say? How can it be a phobia? She said, in her words, I'm scared because of what is actually happening. It's rational. They blew up 7/7, the terrorist attacks. The synagogue in Manchester. She mentions Lee Rigby back in Woolwich all them years ago. Like, Islam, to an extent, an element of whichever way you look fucking at it, has actually caused a lot of shit to genuinely be scared of. The Manchester, what's her name? Ariana Grande, 22 kids, dead. The geezer screamed, Allah Akbar, and blew, like, it's not a phobia. They've literally, as that woman said, if anything, it should be Christophobia. Because that is irrational. To have one group, okay, people in England, When was the last Christian-driven terrorist attack? When was the last Jewish-driven terrorist attack? When was the last Hindu, Sikh-driven terrorist attack? Rastafarian attack? The Quakers, they're a thing. Attack. None of this is a reach. Oh, as you say about the way, I understand your point, but what I'm saying is that no one. Oh, good, you've come back. Hold on. Mate, see this comment? I got abused, sexually abused as a kid, groomed, abused. For 27 years, I couldn't talk about it because it's not manly. I'd have to agree, admit weakness about that. Fucking what an idiot I was. But so first and foremost, I'm sorry to hear that. It took me 27 years as a lesson to learn that what you've just actually said, it took me. So however you're dealing with it, dealt with it, power to you. Took me 27 years to realize actually it's the greatest lesson I've ever learned about myself in my life. 100% bar none. So I get that. What's your next point? I understand your point, but what I'm saying is everyone who follows Islam. But what I'm saying, no, obviously not. Mate, I said that. I said that in Christians. I'm not Christian. I'm not saying that one's bad. You get bad and good in every religion, race, and culture. You also get in every single religion cherry pickers. I follow that bit. Oh no, but that bit, that's a bit much. I'm not going to say nothing about that bit. I have debates, and I'm looking forward. Actually, I'm going to start a channel. I need to get back into it, where get Muslims up, debate on really simple things, humane things. And what you will find, honestly, what you will find is you'll sit there going, why won't he answer that question? Why won't she? Why, no matter how many times you'll agree, me and that person on the build up to the point, which they'll say, yeah. And then the last bit where you say, okay, so by definition of today, is Prophet Muhammad a paedophile for sleeping with a 9-year-old? They say no. That's indoctrination. That's programming. That's a good human being that has been fear-mongered and programmed into a way that, and again, West Ham faithful, mate, if a Muslim leaves Islam by Sharia law, that's apostasy. By Sharia law, it's the death penalty. By Sharia law, even in the UK, even this, what I'm about to say is what I'm saying. Even if what I'm about to share had only ever happened in the UK once, you'd go, no way, that's a thing. Honor killings. Multiple honor killings in the UK, where young fucking wonderful little brown Pakistani, Bangladeshi, whatever Muslim girls have realized actually this life at home, they're trying to send me back to another country to marry a 30-odd-year-old. I'm a virgin, I'm not even 14 yet. Like, I'm going to run away. I'm going to go and see Child Protective Services. Have a look. Have a look. Is what I'm saying, yeah? And yet they'll get caught, and then the brother will kill her. The dad and the brother will kill them together. Can you imagine what that's like for that little girl? To be that fearful, to run away, and then the thing is, like I said, if this had only ever happened once, it's once too many of an example of an atrocity that you would think, how can a human even fucking do that? How? And again, your point, I understand your point. Are you though? Are you understanding my point? Because it's not just, not everyone who follows Islam marries underage children. Yeah, we know. But what's the point in that? The point that is being made is in, yeah, but what about the ones that are following the same book, faithful, that are doing it? That's why I'm on point. And that's why it's not the same. And that's just one example. It's not the same as racism. It's not the same as homophobia. It's nothing like it. Back in the 70s, 80s, all bombings were based around religious belief. 100%. 100%. So that's back then. 100. Good point. Good point. What's this? I'm West Ham. I'm West Ham. They Islam, my moral code is Christian valued and welcome to origin Islam. Oh, Paul. There. Sorry, Paul. I completely missed the first bit. Yeah. And if someone turned around and read that, Paul, they'd go, wow, he's a homophobe. He's probably a white geezer. And it's basically, you've got no right to have, is that one of them mosquitoes? I tell you, I'm getting bit out here. Fuckers. There's these things called stealth mosquitoes. I swear to Christ. Anyway, he's probably white, middle-aged. Even Gary Neville, fucking someone white, middle-aged, come out and said, you fucking white, middle-aged people with a problem. Like, you can't have an opinion, even though your opinion is actually based on your current experience. They're trying to deny our reality. And then if you question it, you'll get labeled as a racist or what. Like, it's so stupidly obvious that you kind of think, how's this gone on for fucking this many years and they've managed to fucking get away with this? Because if you think about it, that's exactly what's happened. We're at the state we're in now because we've been passive. Not being one. I'd say my family fought in the wars to keep us free from the Muppets. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what I know. That's what I'm saying, Paul. You ain't allowed to share your experience, things that you've like physically experienced and known that this ain't fucking right. It's just not right. It don't matter about anything. Like, when it's right and the truth and logic is colorless. It hasn't got an ist. It just is. And certain things that are going on in the UK at the minute, they are just is level. Islam just is a fucking problem, not just in the UK. Look at Iran. Right. My missus sent me something. I want to wrap this up soon anyway. My missus sent me something and I've got it ready. Yeah, fitting. I've not seen this, to be honest. What's seeing these changes and it hurts to see people. Yeah, need to wake up. Fucking right. Let's see. My missus said this girl, she's a Iranian girl. She's really good apparently. So let's have a.
داد بزنم شار بدم مرگ بر خامنه‌ای کشته شد کشته شد کشته شد خامنه‌ای کشته شد دیکتاتور ایران کشته شد قاتل مردم ایران کشته شد کشته شد کشته شد ضارب چشم‌ها کشته شد.
Can you read it? The tyrant's been killed. People will win. Our Iran will win. Our Iran. I know my missus said she got, I think it was for a beating, for not wearing her headscarf or for not covering her hair. This is how she lost her eye. It's another example of fucking evil shit. But yeah, like I said, when you look at that title, the truth no one wants to say, what's happening in our world is good versus evil. It fucking is. It genuinely is. It needs to be spoken about. It really does. I'm definitely going to try and can't do this every night, but I want to try and build a bit of momentum with these and get people engaging. I would like as well to do a phone in next time. I was going to do it this time, but I'm fucked. I ended up off. If I did waffle on, I do apologize. But I need to get that off my chest because it's been emotionally charged because of my missus being Iranian from Tehran, all her family in Tehran. You can imagine if your family, imagine you was abroad and in London, yeah, go fucking London or wherever you are in your city. So I'm pretty confident you're in a city right now where there's not fucking planes going overhead and dropping bombs. Imagine being away and that is where the bulk of your family were. And at times, this is another thing that these wonderful Islamists that run their regime in Iran for 47 years would do. They'd switch off the internet. so that the people of Iran, their own people, would not be able to access communication with the outside world. How fucking evil is that? Right, people, thank you very much for anyone who stuck around. Thanks for the people in chat. Thank you for, especially for the West Ham faithful. It's what it's all about. It's conversations. What do I know? Just how I feel. But people, be kind to yourself. Have a fucking wonderful evening. I'm off to bed. I've got to get up early and start training people. Have a good one, people.
King Charles, where are you? Your people are shouting, crying, begging for help, and yet you stand silent while this country is torn apart. What good is a crown if it doesn't defend the nation? What good is a king if he will not stand with his people? This land is not theirs to destroy. It belongs to the people, the workers, the mothers, the fathers, the veterans, the builders, the farmers. We carried this island through wars, through hardship, through centuries of struggle, and we will not watch it be handed away by weak men in suits. Your duty is not to them, Charles. It is to us, to Britain, to the very soul of this nation. If you will not rise, if you will not speak, then you will show the people that the crown has become nothing but decoration. So hear us now. Your people demand action. We demand a king who protects his country. Britain is calling, Charles. Answer, or history will remember your silence.